Shooter ready? Stand by.
I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and today we're here to review the RDMR7 rifle from RSS Defense. We were contacted last year by RSS Defense to take a look at their new patrol rifle and ring it out and see what we thought. We have spent almost a full year testing this guy. We have put quite a bit of ammo through it, and now we're ready to give our opinion on this rifle. Now, the background on the RDMR7 is this is really designed as a law enforcement patrol rifle. Now, for those of you who are not in law enforcement, it may surprise you to realize that most cops are not gun guys. Law enforcement officers utilize firearms as a tool of the occupation. Much like you may have a carpenter who can't name you all the major hammer manufacturers or tell you the differences in hammerhead steel between one or another, there are plenty of cops out there that can't tell you the minutiae of the firearms that they use. That doesn't overshadow the fact that they need an extremely reliable firearm for those odd chances where they do go into harm's way and they need to defend themselves with lethal force. So kind of to bridge that gap, RSS Defense has approached it with a total package for the law enforcement officer. They have designed the RDMR7 and the additional SDAG, the short duration assault gear kit, so that the average patrol officer can say, I need that, buy it, buy one item, throw all that in their car, and they have what they need to qualify and they have what they need to respond to a lethal force threat. So let's go over the RDMR7, the way it was sent to us for review. Now currently, and this changed while we were doing our review, RSS Defense offers two different trim levels. They offer the Mod 2, which would be similar to the rifle that they sent us for T&E, and then they now offer a slightly lower cost Mod 1, which we have just received, and this will be a long-term T&E gun, so you'll see a lot more of this later on. I'll talk about the differences between them here shortly. When we look at the original RDMR7, first of all, RDMR stands for Rapid Deployment Mission Ready 7 days a week. So that's where the RDMR7 comes from. Kind of a catchy acronym, but it takes you a couple of times to be able to remember it and rattle it off really quickly. The components that were used to put together the RDMR7 are really peak industry components, really tier 1 components. So the rifle was built obviously to fulfill that need, and it was built with components that the owner really realized worked best for his situation. Now, it doesn't mean they'll work best for everybody's situation, but what it means when you purchase this rifle is you have components that have been field tested and have been relied upon not to break in the field when they're leaned on hard. So let's talk about some of the major components on the rifle. Now, the buttstock has changed up. Again, while we were doing the review, that's one of the disadvantages of long-term reviews, is sometimes things change while we're doing it. Originally, they came with the LWRC buttstock. They will now come with the Magpul Mo buttstock. Really, the difference between the stocks is very minimal in how they function. These will both function very, very well. One of the really neat things is on the Mod 2, they utilize a PWS enhanced buffer tube. So this guy is a pretty heavy-duty buffer tube. It's unlikely that you're going to damage it in the regular course of your duties. They also utilize PWS's very interesting castle nut and lock plate arrangement that forgoes needing to stake that castle nut into the lock plate. It also comes with a QD release for your sling on the back side of the lock plate. So really nice components there. Coming forward, we have a Strike Industries forward assist. I know some guys will argue the need for a forward assist or not, especially on law enforcement rifle. I prefer to have a forward assist. Again, if you don't need it, it really doesn't get in the way. The Strike Industries button, it has a really nice purchase on it. Some guys may not like that it has kind of sharp edges on it. If you want, Strike Industries does make a different forward assist, and I'm sure that you can specify the round version of the forward assist instead of the sharp-edged forward assist when you order the rifle. The charging handle is a Fortis hammer charging handle, and it worked very well while we were doing different drills with the rifle. The Fortis handle has really rough serrations on here. I don't want to say rough serrations, really aggressive serrations on here, so it makes it very easy to get a hold of it, especially when you are wearing gloved hands. If you're the kind that just blades your hand and hooks it, the latch on the charging handle comes out far enough that it is really easy to catch it with the palm of your hand. If you just reach up and grab it like you normally would, again, very easy to catch it. The selector is a Magpul 45 degrees selector. I really was questioning the reason for the Magpul selector over some of the other options out there, and basically what it came down to is RSS Defense has not seen one of these fail. They're a relatively reliable selector, and some guys like the 45 degrees, some guys don't, but there's no question that it is effective, and when you are motivating this selector in the down position, it really doesn't interfere with your trigger finger at all. So really nice choice there. They went with the Strike Industries port door cover, which again, initially I looked at and I'm like, it's a plastic cover, but the Strike Industries cover seems to seal a little bit better than some of the GI type covers out there. And in use, one of the other really neat things about it is no matter what handguard you have on here, it's easy to take the cover off and replace it or remove it and reinstall it for maintenance should you desire to do so. The port door absolutely does its job, and during our testing we had no problems with it failing at all. Coming down here to the magazine release, they have a Seekins magazine release button, and if I rotate this over to the other side, they're utilizing a Troy magazine release as well. So you have full ambidextrous operation of the magazine release. You can drop your finger up there and drop it out, no problems at all. They are using a Seekins oversized bolt catch. So again, no problems working with gloved hands. Now you will notice on this very clearly that we have a flat face trigger in here. This is a Geissele Automatics trigger. You can choose different options when you purchase the rifle. So if, for instance, your department doesn't authorize Geissele triggers, you can choose the ALG Defense trigger, which is a standard AR type trigger. Most departments shouldn't have a problem with that trigger over the Geissele two-stage trigger. In our operations, even though it's a two-stage trigger, the operation of the trigger was extremely fast. It was no problem dumping a high volume of rounds downrange with this trigger. Obviously extremely controllable. If you need to put a precise shot downrange, then the Geissele trigger will definitely take care of that for you. Coming forward of that, the rail that we have on here is the Fortis switch rail. Now it's really interesting because the Fortis switch rail, if you need to get underneath the handguard for any kind of maintenance, all you do is disengage this latch down here, flip the lever down, and then the handguard will come off. And you can actually slide it all the way off the rifle. And depending upon what accessories you have installed, it makes it easier or harder to get it off. But now we can see the barrel that they're using on the RDMR7. It is a 14.5-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system, so it has a really nice soft recoil characteristic. Shooting this guy fast was no problem at all. They do laser weld a Silencer Co. ASR muzzle device on here. So this is an ASR flash hider on this one. And that does two things for you. First of all, we now have a 14.5-inch barrel that is a legal 16-inch, so you don't need to register as a short barrel rifle. And then also for you officers out there that do want to utilize suppressors on your rifle, it comes suppressor ready. So a really nice option. The laser welding works great. It has less impact, I think, than pinning and welding on your barrel. If that's done incorrectly, it can cause all kinds of problems. And the laser welding is a work of art. It's really a thing of beauty, how well it has, or how consistent it is around the barrel. So really nice. The barrel weight is appropriate for a high volume of fire rifle. We didn't have any problems with any zero creep or anything shifting as we got this guy hot, and we did get it hot while we were testing it. We got it hot enough, in fact, that we had to use gloves to hold the forend even with the Magpul hand stop on there. Let me slide this guy back on here real quick, and I will explain to you one of the slight drawbacks to the Fortis switch handguard. Now you see it was very easy to remove it and reinstall it. So if, for instance, you're in a snowy, wet, nasty environment, you get stuff in there, or you end up dragging this across some mud, something happens, you get dirt and grime packed down into the handguard. It is very easy to remove the handguard, clean your rifle, and put things back together. One disadvantage, if you'll notice on here that we do have Magpul backup sights, and these are the MBUS Pro models, and we'll talk about which trim level they come on. But if you have a front and a rear sight and you get the handguard installed cocked to one side or the other, that is definitely going to affect your zero on your iron sight. So you really do need to make sure that you take some extra care when you're putting the guy back together, that you get that top rail lined up, and then turn on your dot sight and sight through your backup iron sights to make sure that your co-witness has returned. Again, if you're running iron sights and a dot sight, it's not a big deal, but it is a step that you need to take when you put this guy back together, and then make sure that that's snapped close. We didn't have any problems at all with the handguard twisting or moving after we heated it up, so it's a really nice component. Even without all the extra stuff, if we go to the slick version here, even without all the extra things, the handguard feels nice to the hand. There are really no sharp edges on it. Everything is nicely rounded and nicely finished. So the Fortis switch handguard is definitely a nice option. Going forward to that, you'll also notice that we have a light included here. Now is a good time for me to talk about the short duration assault gear upgrade. When you purchase the rifle, you have the option to purchase just the RDMR7 or add the SDAG upgrade. Now the SDAG upgrades a couple of things on the rifle itself. It gives you the Magpul MBUS Pro, gives you a Spark AR dot sight. This one has the Spark 2 with the Fortis mount, but on the actual kit, if you upgrade it, you'll get the Spark AR, which functionally is pretty much the same, just has a little bit different on the battery and mounting options. Still an excellent, excellent optic though. And you also get an Enforced WML. So there you've automatically upgraded the rifle to exactly what you need to pull out of the car and go, but there are a couple of other extras that come with it. You get the covert operations bag that we've got right here, and this is a really nice, well-built, it's a backpack, it's got waist straps on it, so I mean you can use it as an EDC bag, you can use it as a backpacking bag, hiking bag, whatever, but the really cool trick to it is that inside of it, it's got Velcro mounting points here, so you can break the rifle down and you can attach it and stow it in the bag. And if you need to get out somewhere and get in somewhere low profile, then you can do so. There's plenty of room in the bag that you could store soft armor or plates in the bag if you wish to do so, although there's no actual ballistic option on the bag. So you'd have to put your body armor in there and you can deploy from there if you want. When we come into the second pocket here, there's all kinds of MOLLE to be able to attach in here. And down here on the bottom, we have a magazine carrier that actually has 6 PMags in it right now. You get one with the rifle. When you choose the SDAG upgrade, it adds 5 more PMags to the whole kit. And then finally in the front pocket here, we have a North American Rescue IPOC. This is the individual patrol officer's kit, and it has a number of great things in here to include a tourniquet. So basically what you need to do to fix gunshot wounds in bodies, or at least stabilize until you can evac a casualty. So overall, this is a really cool setup. Now it does add, overall, again, with the options on the rifle and the bag, it adds $950 to the complete price of the setup. But what this gives you is it gives you a kit that's ready to roll for an active shooter type situation that you can carry in your personal car, you can carry in the back of your patrol car, whatever, and you can grab it and go and be able to handle those kind of situations. Just make sure you don't leave it unsecured in a personal vehicle. That could be a bad thing. So that's the SDAG upgrade for the RDMR7. And it may be a really worthwhile upgrade for those guys that don't want to go out and source all those components individually. And especially for those officers that may not know what kind of light or what kind of optic is good to go to upgrade their patrol rifle. Now, the prices on the individual rifles here themselves, the RDMR7 Mod 2 starts out at $2,300. Now that is a really nice setup of quality components put together and designed so that you're not going to have any problems with them at all. But that may be a little bit too steep for some guys' budgets. So what RSS Defense did is they came out with the slightly stripped down Mod 1. Now with the Mod 1, you still get pretty much the same furniture, you still get the same forend, you get the LaRue APEG grip on here, but you lose things like you lose the ambidextrous ability. You only have a left side selector, left side bolt release, and right side mag release, so it still works like the standard AR. On the Mod 2, now standard, is a Gemtech suppressed bolt carrier group. So if you know you're going to run suppressed, the Mod 2 may be a good idea. With the Mod 1, you get an enhanced GI spec bolt carrier group, and this is actually what we've been running for test, is the standard bolt carrier group, not the updated Gemtech bolt carrier group, and it's worked absolutely fine. You get the same barrel between the two, same gas system, same laser welded muzzle device, and overall you get a really good basic carbine that's good to go. And then again, you can also add the SDAG kit on top of this guy. Now, that's all well and good, but how does it work? Well, we took this guy out, and in the course of an afternoon, we burned 1,000 rounds through it and had no problems whatsoever. Not a single failure over that afternoon, and I haven't had a single failure to feed, failure to fire, etc. For the entire time that we have had this rifle. The rifle has been accurate, it's been trouble-free, it's really been a joy to shoot. We really have burned this guy down. Now, one thing we did not do that you guys may criticize us for is we did not do accuracy testing on this because it is designed really as a CQB, as a patrol rifle, not as a long gun. It came to us with the dot sight on. We didn't break it down, pull this off, put magnified optics on it, and bench test it. However, RSS Defense does offer a 1 MOA guarantee with match ammunition. So if you get yours in, you throw a magnified optic on it, you sit down, you shoot groups at the bench with match ammunition, and it's not grouping 1 MOA, well, the guarantee is going to cover you there. So you can contact them and talk to them about that. With this rifle, when it came to us, we don't know how many rounds were on it. This is actually serial number 0001. So we didn't want to go do the accuracy testing with this one. Now that we have this guy in with a fresh barrel on it, we'll likely do some accuracy testing for the long term. I really do want to put a magnified optic on here and see how well this nice light little 14.5 inch will work as a intermediate range gun. So make sure you stay tuned to see that coming up. It's very difficult to really give you guys an idea of how this rifle feels, but it brought a smile to my face as soon as I took it out of the box and pinned the upper and lower together. The rifle has a really nice balance. The way we have it set up here with the Magpul M-Lock hand stop kit on it, your hand falls in here perfectly, drops right onto the light. It indexes and swings very quickly. And just overall, everything fits. The LaRue APEG, it works fine. I prefer a slightly more vertical grip when I'm using close quarter rifles, but we didn't have any problems with the APEG at all. Even with gloved hands, I was able to get over here and access all the controls on the rifle just fine. The Fortis hammer charging handle works fine with single-sided operations. Rarely ever do we come over the top and engage both sides of the charging handle. Almost always it's one side or bladed hand or jamming it against a barricade to do a one-handed clearing. And we had no problems with the Fortis charging handle bending or twisting or anything. The receiver set on both the rifles is a matched forged upper and lower receiver set. They didn't take the extra step to go through any billet receivers, and if you do some research on forged receiver sets versus billet receiver sets, opinions are all over the place. But for a hard use working rifle, I don't see a whole lot of benefit to going with a billet, all kinds of crazy cuts and special designs and all that. The standard forged upper and lower receivers work great. These are no different. They fit together very nicely. In fact, the fit is almost perfect. Now, my preference for fit on upper and lower receivers is that just like you saw there, I could pop that pin out by hand. I can separate the upper and lower by hand. There's really hardly any wiggle at all when they're separated. I can push them back together, reinsert the pin, and there is almost no perceptible wiggle between the upper and lower. So what that gives you is a rifle that's not going to rattle like a can of parts, but that you can still break down and maintain in the field without getting out the hammer and the punch and knocking things around. Now, it does have an upper to lower tightening screw that goes through the mounting point for the pistol grip. So if over time it loosens up on you, you can tighten that down a little bit. That's a really nice feature, but it is backed off on both of these all the way right now, and you get a nice matched fit between the upper and lower. So overall, we have been very impressed with the RSS Defense RDMR7. I think it is a really great option for those officers that really just want to get a rifle, get everything that they need, throw it in the car, and know that it's going to work. I want to thank RSS Defense for sending us out the RDMR7. I want to really thank them for sending us out the 001 serial number rifle. Very often you don't get companies that do that. Obviously 001 probably has the most mileage on it in their arsenal, so they were pretty confident that we weren't going to have any problems with the rifle when we got it. That's it for our review of the RSS Defense RDMR7, the Rapid Deployment Mission Ready 7 days a week rifle. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you'd like to get your own RDMR7, RSS Defense was nice enough to give us a discount code that we'll leave in the description down below, along with a link to RSS Defense. If you want to read more about the rifle and you want more specs than you really care to listen to on this video, check out the link down below to our full write-up on the rifle. If you like the video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot.